Portland, Maine. For residents, Mainers, people in Maine, it's considered a large populous event-filled booming city with a diverse culture of all ethnicities. But if you're from another location such as a large city somewhere perhaps such as San Diego or Los Angeles, Maine looks very small and is demographically 95% majority all white people. It's a great place to raise a family. You go to the grocery store and people know your name and bump into colleagues from work, local police, faculty from the school district. There's only a few grocery stores in the city. In the fall the leaves change colors, dark oranges, yellows, browns, reds. Big pine trees grow to 100 feet tall. Giant oak trees withstand elements and are hundreds of years old. Definitely the perfect place for an artist to go whip out a tripod and a blank canvas and paint a masterpiece of the landscape. Beautiful, yes, but poor. The majority of Mainers live paycheck to paycheck, mostly blue-collar jobs, making slightly over the minimum wage, but most of the people I knew were either unemployed or on some sort of government assistance, and the middle class would be considered lower class in a city as say New York or Atlanta. In Maine I can confidently say that most of the population are smokers. Most of the kids I knew all started smoking at around 12 years old. Why? Maybe it has to do with the freezing weather. Maine has a booming lobstering and fishing industry and I don't think I've ever met a lobsterman that didn't party it up on the weekends and smoke like a chimney. It's just the way it is. People in Maine love to smoke and drink. I remember seeing a statistic or a census and it said that Portland, Maine had the most amount of number of bars in a certain square radius. The Old Port is the center of Portland and it's lined street after street, row upon row of bars and microbreweries and fried food and pizza and more bars and more drinking and then some more good old-fashioned Maine drinking. Did I forget to tell you that people in Maine love to drink? Ahaha, they sure do. So yes, it may have something to do with fishing or maybe the weather, but people in Maine are also very angry and pissed off all the time. Everyone wants to fight. Everyone wants to gossip. Maybe it does have something to do with the weather. Personally for me the cold weather does make me miserable, but some people love the cold weather and they're still miserable. I'm not a scientist and I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is Mainers just got problems that the rest of the country seems to not have. Maine is very Irish. Irish people like to drink and fight. Maybe that's the answer. Who knows? Drugs are so prevalent. If you don't do drugs, then it's likely that someone in your family does drugs. If nobody in your family does drugs, then the family next door someone does drugs. Here we are in 2025 and the fentanyl epidemic has hit Maine like a tsunami. So many people have died.